Guys, what's going on? Hello and welcome to Cereal at Midnight. My name is Heath, and in this episode, we've got the scoop on Santo. Now, previously on Cereal at Midnight, I posted a Fresh Flavors episode, which is my long-form new release spotlight video where I talk about a lot of new releases, and I spent about 10 minutes talking about this. This is a new Blu-ray box set from VCI Elite, distributed by MVD Visual, that presents 8 Santo movies in high definition. And it's a big deal because these movies have been very hard to see in the modern marketplace. They have existed in terrible prints. In some cases, like in the Santo and the Treasure of Dracula, we find out that the black and white print that people have been watching for years was not the original. It was shot in color. It was distributed in color, but it lived for decades in black and white. Now it's in color. The original is here. But it's a controversial release because the original Spanish audio tracks are not included here. It's a dub. It's an English dub. Now, Santo is a huge hero to the Spanish language community. You know, the wrestling, the lucha scene in Mexico. Santo helped popularize that in the 40s and the 50s. He brought the sport of wrestling to the masses. He was one of the people, at least. He spun that popularity off into a comic book. He was the subject of a comic book series, and then appeared in more than 50 feature films. So 8 of those are here in this box set. And I have heard from so many of you guys since that Fresh Flavors video saying, I love Santo, grew up watching these, but English dub, that's a deal breaker. No way. So I told you that I would continue to ask questions behind the scenes, doing my research, put on my journalistic cap, my reporter hat, and I've been continuing to ask questions, and I've got some news. I've got some answers. So here's the deal. I was told that the original Spanish audio tracks for the movies that are presented here were never an option to be licensed by VCI. They weren't even on the table by the rights holders. Now, that in and of itself, this is Heath talking now. This is not what I was told. This is me talking. The rights for these movies have been hotly disputed. That's a whole, if you want to go down that rabbit hole, you know, I'm watching the movies, I'm writing reviews for them as I go. In fact, my review for Santo and the Treasure of Dracula should be up, hopefully by the time this video is up, at CerealAtMidnite.com. Ding! As I'm researching the story of these movies behind the scenes, the distribution aspects, and like who owns them, hotly disputed, you know, over the years. So that's an interesting story. But then to find out that the original Spanish audio was not even an option, that makes me feel a little bit better, right? Because, you know, I don't love when you get a kung fu movie or something like that, you always have the original Mandarin or the Cantonese, and then you have the English dub, and you get the choice. But what's cool is that it's your choice, you know? The original is always there. You can watch it as it was shot, as it was presented in theaters. So that was not, you know, we don't have that for Santo. Not for these. And my understanding is that if that situation ever changes, that VCI would love to include future editions. They'd love to do future editions that include the native Spanish tracks. But that's not currently even an option. It's not something that they passed on. It was not even an option. So they make the decision. Again, back to Heath now. I don't want to speak for anybody else. Back to Heath. You have a choice, right? If you're VCI, you have a choice. You say, well, we either create new dubs, because these movies didn't have English. Well, a few. K. Gordon Murray brought these to the United States in the 60s. A few of them. Not many of them. A few of them. Most of these movies don't have English dubs. They were sent to Europe, you know, but they don't have English dubs. So VCI is like, we can license these movies, because they're allowed to license the movies. They have access to the movies, just not the audio tracks. We can license the movies, but we have to create new dubs. Or we pass on the project and we don't release them at all. So they chose the option that's fan-friendly. They chose the option that actually gets these movies out there so people can see them. And that's, you know, that's great. I'm thankful for that. Given this information, it kind of changes the perspective. I hope it changes the conversation, because it's this or nothing as far as Blu-rays, as far as this deal, these new remasters that have been done. That's a whole other story. How do they look? Uncut, all that stuff. I'm going to reference you to my reviews for that. But the conversation continues, right? But the fact that they took the swing and went for it, I'm grateful for that. So that's the deal. That's what I was told behind the scenes. So that's what we've got now. It's this or it's nothing. If that changes in the future, VCI, maybe we'll get better editions with the Spanish audio tracks in the future. As it is right now, this is the best and really the only option on the market for these movies. So I'm going to keep watching them. They're a ton of fun. Like I say, now that I know we know kind of what was going on in the mix, we can appreciate it for what it is. Instead of cursing what it isn't, we can appreciate what it is. So that's the scoop. That's the skinny. Santo on Blu-ray. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And I'm going to put a link to where you can pick that up. It's fairly loaded with features. Every movie has an introduction from Dr. David Wilt, the mexploitation expert, film scholar. And there's a booklet inside with information about the movies. There's an interview with Rene Cardona III. Let me see if there's anything else here that I want to tell you guys about. There's the history of Santo with Dr. David Wilt as well. There's a ton of stuff here for what it is. And again, now that I know that it's this or nothing, thank you, VCI. Thank you, VCI, for taking a chance on these and doing what you did so we could see them. I think that's great. So I'm going to put a link to it in the description of this video. If you want to pick it up, you can do it through that link, and you'll be supporting Cereal at Midnight. Check out my reviews at CerealAtMidnite.com. And as a reminder, always, we are viewer supported. I do not accept sponsorships from, I like to say, no stamps, no mattresses here, no cereals or beers. To this point, we are still completely viewer supported, so we could use your Patreon support. In return for that, you can get collection tours, collecting at midnight videos, over 100 exclusive videos on our Patreon support page, and we would just love to have you. Lots of benefits, lots of perks, and we appreciate you guys. Thanks so much. Take care. Until next time, here's where to go and what to do.